Hi everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Survival Minecraft. Today we are enacting step 2 of our two-step program to make a second mob farm over the ocean monument. And in the last one, you saw me defeat the dragon, but what you didn't see was me getting my brand new fancy cape. Look at it! Well, wings, really, not cape. The cape's a different thing entirely, but look at it. Look how fancy it is. It lets me fly and all that good stuff. Even though this isn't the greatest place in the world to test that. But still, I can fly now, which means I don't need to worry so much, at least, about the smaller guardians nipping at my feet all the time whilst I'm building the mob farm. However, there is still one problem. It doesn't protect me from the mining debuff of the Elder Guardians. Fortunately, I've managed to spend some time to brew myself some potions. As you can see here, we have some potions of strength, some potions of water breathing, and some potions of regeneration. Why are those only 45 seconds? Hold on, I need to fix this. What do I need? I need redstone dust. Need to fix these, make these a little bit longer. 1 minute 30, I think, is the absolute minimum that I need for this. Brewing stand, 1, 2, 3. There we go. That should change those into the longer duration potions. And what I'm going to be using these for is dealing with all 3 Elder Guardians that live in the Ocean Monument. Because once they're gone, and I can fly, I can just go ahead and ignore the rest of the smaller Guardians and then go about my business with, you know, building what I actually want to in that part of the world. But we have to actually do all that first. And I need to make sure that I don't leave this here, because that would be kind of horrific. 1, 2, 3. There we go. I'm kind of thinking I can at least leave some of these here. That's my spare armor. That maybe shouldn't go with me. You know, it's times like this I really wish I had made an ender chest, but then, you know, I don't have a silk touch pickaxe, so that might be a problem if I just make one and carry it with me. That won't quite work. So that can stay here. Emeralds, you can stay here. Food, you can come with me. And these are just like extra. This is the stuff I was using when I was fishing for that last episode, that like mini sort of this is why I came back thing that I did. So I don't need those 3. Do I need to take this? I don't think I do. This can also stay here. This isn't necessary for me to defeat the Ocean Monument, if you want to call it that. But it will be beneficial if I need to make any potions if I'm out and about, someplace very dangerous, you know. That's kind of what that box is for. But for now, what we're interested in is these 2, food and potions. We're just going to go ahead and head out to the, I don't know what to call it, the shell of the mob farm, because it's not exactly looking good at the moment. And I'm going to get prepared while I'm up there. I'm going to get my potions ready, and then we're going to go for a bit of a swim. And before I do that, do I go and sleep? Because I don't really... No, I should be far enough away. It should be fine. The village should be safe, because zombies and mobs won't spawn while I'm all the way over here, so we're okay. I'm going to swap out my elytra for my chest piece so I take less damage. It does mean, of course, that I'm not going to be able to make a quick exit if I need it, but that should be okay. I'm going to take 1 each of the water breathing. Actually, no, I'm going to take 2 each of those. There's the debuff. We're going to make sure we don't get that much longer. And then I'm thinking, well, I can put you up there if I don't have any need of you. 2 potions, 3, 4 regeneration potions. Gets me 6 minutes. Hopefully I'm done by then. And I can just come back out. But if I'm not, it doesn't matter. I've got plenty to work with. Oh, dear God. I can't get the the shulker box back quick enough because of the mining debuff. I should have just gone up to the top of the tunnel that I've built. But now we're going to be here for about a minute. Oh, okay, got it, we're fine. Okay, so there's the entrance. The question is, do I go in through the entrance? Or do I... No, I've got to go in through the entrance. I was going to say, do we mine in through the top? But we can't do that because of the mining debuff. It'll take me forever to do. So, the entrance it is. We're going to go in through the entrance. We have everything we need. I'm going to drink the water breathing and strength potions now. The regeneration one, not necessary to be used at this exact moment in time. However, let me just put another one there. This should be good. I might actually drink one now. I'm going to be taking damage the moment I enter the water because the Guardians are relentless. So let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Geronimo! Alright. Now, I really don't need to kill all of these. In fact, I shouldn't be killing any of them, really. I just need to be getting away from their attacks so I can get health back. And remember, the goal here are the Elder Guardians, not the smaller ones. The problem is, it's been some time since I've been in an Ocean Monument, so I don't quite remember the layout. It's a pity I can't put torches here so I know which areas I've checked. You can run away, that's fine. This is also a nothing room. Oh, no, this goes somewhere. The thing is, I know... Never mind, got one. Okay, we're gonna take a regeneration potion here. Take care of you, eat some food, because we are dealing with an Elder Guardian now. One of 3. So I need the health regen, just to ensure I don't die. Although looking at things, we're okay. We're okay. Yeah, we're fine. Why was I ever worried? I mean, to be fair, I am coming in here with strength, water breathing, and health regen, so... kind of giving myself a bit of an advantage here, but you know what? Doesn't matter. If I'm right, and assuming I haven't got myself spun around, I can just do this, get the Guardian that's on this wing, and then the only issue I have is finding the one that's in the middle, finding my way up to the central room. Here we go. I know this is your house, and I'm invading it and kicking you all out without due purpose. Hang on. Let's not be too hasty here. Let's not be too hasty. Okay, we're good. Back we go. Your bodyguards are causing me problems. Do I take another regen potion? I've got plenty of them in the box, but the issue is, if I put a box down now, I can't pick it back up again, really, until I deal with the third Guardian because of the debuff. Wait, that was a sponge. Did the Elder Guardians drop sponges? I did not know that. This is the way back to the entrance, I'm sure of it. Yeah, there's the entrance. Let's not go back out there. So, where's the central section? Where's this third Guardian? I found the other 2 reasonably okay, but this third one is proving elusive. I feel like I've been here a dozen times already. There is no further way up. I've just been here. This is back here again. What is wait, never mind. We're going up? Have I been here before? Yes, I have. This is just the first... What? I don't get this. I've been around here like 4 times now. This is as high as you can go without anything else. And oh, I'm not an underwater creature. Clearly, things are distorted in the water visually, and yeah. Anyway, we found another way up, and here we are. Hey, look, it's the last Guardian. Fancy seeing you up here, a place I absolutely, you know, could not have come to previously. And saving myself like 5 minutes or so. What have we got? Mining fatigue. Still 3 minutes of that, but that's okay. It's going to take me that long to get back out, I think. Out here. Out the entrance. Up and away! So what I can do now is I can just land up on top of this somehow. And then we can begin the oh dear. We can begin... Hold on. First try. Okay, so we're just going to sit here for about 1.5 minutes, wait for the mining fatigue to wear off, and then we can begin taking this back to zero, essentially. We're going to be starting from scratch, although I am realizing at this point in time, I don't really have enough space for all of this cobblestone. I guess I'm just going to have to put some into these shulker boxes, although there's not really much space in them either. Actually, do you know what I can do? I'm overthinking this. I can just put all the potions in. Along with you, and then that should be fine. We can now mine once again at a normal speed. Oh, I forgot what this felt like. This feels so good. Okay, so I have completely demolished and begun to rebuild the mob farm here, and I've also raised it up about 20-ish blocks or so, because what I want to do with it is kind of similar to the iron farm, where I build something around it, and I want to have a bit more clearance between it and the ocean monument for me to do that in the way that it currently works in my brain. Whether that's how it will end up, I don't know, but I won't know until I start doing that. So we have here a bare bones mob farm, and I'm going to pretty much build it exactly the same way that you would expect it to be built, by having one big platform and then 4 water channels leading into a central pit there. But the difference is, you might have spotted this on the first iteration, before I tore it down. There was a kind of column, essentially, pointing upwards going into the sky. And I'm going to do the same thing with this, because the whole point of that, if you remember what I was saying about the mob farm that's right next to my house, initially, I was doing that so I could create drowned, and then I could get myself some free copper. But it didn't quite work out for a couple of reasons. Mainly I built it too close to my house, and there just wasn't really any way for me to collect the loot afterwards, aside from jumping on top of the block, which, again, like I said, was suboptimal at best. So we're going to try it again, but I'm hoping that by giving myself much more space, that I'll be able to figure something out in regards to automatic collection. Because I would also like to use it as an experience kind of experience farm. So I can just come here and use it to repair my stuff if I need to. And it's not going to be the first experience farm that I build, you know, like, it's kind of a rite of passage at some point that everyone has to build an Enderman farm, do you know what I mean? You know, you've got Enderman farms, you've got Creeper farms, which, thinking about it, I'm going to have to do eventually as well, because I'm going to need a faster way to get gunpowder for my rockets for the Elytra. Because I'm 1 short? No! Oh, I must have not picked it up in the water when I was demolishing it before. That's upsetting. 1 block short. That's annoying. Yeah, the current setup I've got right now with the mob farm next to my house, yeah, it gives me creepers, but not exactly quickly. So I'm gonna need to read up on how creepers spawn and then make a creeper-only farm, so I can get an abundance of gunpowder. Plus, it's great for TNT, so, you know, it kind of serves double utility there. Are you kidding? That is so upsetting. 1 block. 1. Like, I'm genuinely upset by that. It's not even in here. That's terrible. The temptation to put a trapdoor here, but that just seems wrong. I also kind of... You know what? There's a part of me that's thinking, no one's going to see it. It's not going to matter. But I'll know it's here. So I'm just going to have to do this. And put cobblestone in the middle of every single platform. Even though nobody's going to see it once this is done. Well, there goes that one. Even though only I will know it exists. Well, and you guys now, but... I can't remember which one it was. There you go. Got it. What was I saying? Oh, right, yeah, I was talking about creeper farms and everything. I would like one, because I've not made one before, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how they're made. But I'm kind of digressing. So the way this is going to work, at least in the first part of this mob farm, is exactly how you would imagine it to. Mobs are going to spawn on these 4 platforms, and then because of the way the AI works, they are going to be walking into the trenches here, where there will be water pushing everything into the middle. At which point, they will fall down here. Now, traditionally in a mob farm, this would be essentially the kill zone. It would go down a little bit further than this to take off some of the health from the mobs, and then you would be stood at the bottom smacking everything with a sword. However, here, we're going to be doing things differently. There's going to be more water here, pushing everything down this way, and then there's going to be a drop here to start the water flow again, because water only flows for 8 blocks before it stops. This is the 8th block, so it falls off this here, and then basically begins again, pushes the mobs another 8 blocks, which will lead them into here. And I need to replace these 4 cobblestone blocks here with soul sand, and then the idea is going to be the water in this tunnel here. I don't like calling it a tunnel. That tunnels are more horizontal. What's a vertical tunnel called? Pipe? Column? We'll call it a column because that's what it's going to become. Pushes the mobs here, and then because of the soul sand, it will force the mobs upwards. Probably by about 60-ish blocks, 60, 70-ish blocks, because it's 20 blocks. Oh no, I rose it by 20 blocks, didn't I? So it's probably about 40 blocks off the floor already at this point. So 40, 60 from here is 100. Yeah, that sounds about right. Then it's going to go up another 60 or so blocks from here. And then I'm going to have to think of a way for automatic collection of loot whilst I'm there. And I'm hoping, of course, that with this being as big of a tube as it is, big of a column as it is, by the time the zombies get up to the top, enough time will have passed that they will at least begin turning into drowned. And then I can smack them, and then I can get my free copper. Because ultimately, that's what this is all about. Copper. I'm doing this entire thing for free copper. Everything else is just a bonus. I realized I was starting to run out of cobblestone, so I decided to come back to base and make a very quick cobblestone generator. As you can tell by the fact that it is literally just water and lava, and to be honest, that's all you need for a cobblestone gen. The one thing I have changed though from the way I usually do things is I've put hoppers underneath where the blocks form. Because one thing I've always had problems with cobblestone generators is the blocks themselves flying off into the lava, and you basically losing them. You can't get them back. So I figured, hey, do you know what? Let's just put hoppers underneath things, because then that will immediately catch the flying block, and you don't need to worry about them ending up in the lava anymore. And I was right. I've chosen to raise it a couple more blocks than I really needed to, mainly because the clouds were bothering me. I didn't realize that I had come up so far into the sky that the clouds were going to start blocking my view. So what I've done is I've come up like another 5 or 6 blocks total. So now the clouds just kind of pass underneath where I'm standing, and I don't need to worry about them blocking my vision. That's perfectly fine. However, I now need to try and work out a way to collect the loot when I kill things in this soon-to-be bubble elevator, because they're going to get blocked. I'm going to end up putting, I think, some slabs sort of here, so they can't get out, almost. And then stand here and slash at their monster in the water. But then I need to figure out how to get all of their stuff that they drop. It's a shame we don't have upside-down hoppers, in all honesty, because that would be a perfect solution for this. But alas, they don't exist, so I'm gonna have to think of another way to collect everything. I probably could use hoppers, thinking about it. I'm just thinking, do hoppers get waterlogged? So if I were to do this around the edge, like this, and then put hoppers where these blocks are. So if I were to do this, I'd have to block the outside off, obviously. But if I were to put hoppers here, and then run the water over the top, would that feed into them? I don't see why it wouldn't. Even if the hoppers themselves don't become waterlogged, if the water is passing over the top of the hoppers, that should be okay. That should work. I just need to redesign this a little bit. So let me just go ahead, actually. Put these back down. And then, if we're assuming that we're going to be using hoppers, let's do this. Put another layer of cobblestone up here. And then I'll need to go and get some more hoppers because I only have 5. I'll need some chests as well. And then also, of course, a bunch of kelp. And the soul sand. I need the soul sand as well because I have to test this. I think this is as ready as we're gonna be for this. I've essentially completed everything else. I've built the bubble column, I've made the area where everything gets trapped at the top, I've checked the hoppers that they feed into the chest, so once I do this, and then once I head out, I just realized this might not work as intended, because how am I going to fly out and then also block this in? So I might need to do this. Make a bit of a square hole there. Zoom out. I guess I could have just made myself a bit of a platform. Actually, that's better. That's less dangerous. That has less chance of accidentally slamming myself into a ceiling block, and then, you know, hurting myself. So we're gonna do this, fly up to there, and then we just have to wait. That's all we can do at that point, just wait. So I'm gonna do this, fly up. I'm thinking maybe I should make this platform bigger, but that's something we can do later. For now, we just wait. I don't know how long this will take. They should be spawning now. I swear, if I've come up too high to avoid the clouds, I'm not gonna be impressed. Do you know what I need to do as well, thinking about it, now that I'm seeing the sunset? I need to go and put torches here. Well, I can hear everything spawning. So, they are in there. They are in there, so I just need to head back up. They're just taking their time entering the tunnel. That's all it is. Oh, here we go. Here we go. We have our first contestants. Hey guys, how you doing? How was your journey? Let me just eat some food. What? Oh, okay. That. Yeah, I should have seen that coming. Right, okay, we've got a problem. The baby zombies can get out. The only thing that I can think of is if I lower the part that I stand on. So keep all of this exactly as it is, but this part here, I need to move down a few blocks so I can attack their feet, essentially. Kind of like you would with a normal mob farm. I think that's the only way I can do this. This way does seem to work a little bit better. Not by much, though. The creepers can still see me if I get too close, and so explode, but it's definitely a step in the right direction. The other downside that I'm noticing is it takes a while for the experience points to get to me. So I think they're collecting up the top as well, so I do need to have a step system so I can still just hop up here and pick everything up, which is kind of what I was hoping to avoid. It works. The system works. I can use this to get myself drowned zombies. But it's far from being a perfect system. The biggest issue I have is it can sometimes take a while for mobs to appear in the first place. So I'm kind of wondering if, weirdly, I'm too far away, and as I say that, 2 of them appear, 3 of them appear right now. But this isn't happening fast enough. If you make a regular mob farm, they're constantly falling down, and you can go up and smack them, and then they just keep appearing. But this isn't happening fast enough, and I'm wondering if that's because I'm too far away from them? And maybe there's some kind of secondary rule with mobs where they don't move as often if you're too far away. And I'm wondering if that's the case. It might not be, for all I know. I could be making that up. But it is entirely possible, I suppose, for that to be a thing. I need to try and find a way to test if that's true. I guess I could quickly hop down. I do have, you know, elytra and rockets, so nothing is here right now. So if I just hop down and stand on the roof for a little bit, there are definitely things down there. You can tell because they're all making noises. So if I just stay here for a few seconds and then hop back up, what happens? Well, I don't want to say I've just proven my point here, but it does seem a little bit suspicious that we've got a bunch more mobs after I've gone down and back up again. There's another skeleton, another zombie. They're just flooding in now. Is that what it is? Am I too far away? Look at them all now. That's crazy. Okay, we're gonna do it again. Hop down. Okay, clearly I did not allow for landing time. Wait, where? Oh, I'm back at spawn! As in where the world spawn was. Oh, good lord. Alright, this could take a bit to get back. Can I get back in one day? I kind of remember the path I took, so I guess we'll just have to hope for the best. Yep, here we go. Found it. I basically took the long way around. But I do now have to very quickly get my spare elytra and then fly up to pick everything up that I dropped. I should be able to do this. Equip that, and then I'm also going to need a couple of rockets. And then hopefully everything should still be there. If it isn't, well, I got a lot of work to do. Okay, we're good. We're fine. Okay, let's go ahead and try that again, only this time without accidentally dying on the roof of the spawning platform. So, what we're going to do is we're going to stay here for a minute and see if any mobs come up the column naturally. Or rather, naturally is not the right word. See if they come up whilst I'm stood here, and then by the time I finish talking, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and stand on the roof of the spawning chamber for about 20 seconds. And then come back up and see if that changes, if it increases the appearance rate at all. So, I think this is long enough that I've been talking here, and I can't see anything appearing, so I guess we... Okay, yeah, I've got my elytra on. That's good. That's good. It would be embarrassing if I forgot about that. Let's go and see if me going down and basically toe-tapping that for a bit and coming back up changes anything. We're going to go in nice and slowly this time. Nice and slowly. Okay, so we're going to be here for a few seconds, just taking it easy. Just taking in the sights, say hello to the seeds. Looking over at the acacia forest there, then we fly back up. And then we come and sit back here. And then we give it another... Oh, look at that! Look at that! Wow, okay, we're gonna give... Yeah, that's actually ridiculous. I think that's what it is. It seems then that the mobs don't move around as much if they're at the very edge of the spawning sphere. Which means, because the reason that I'm stood up this high is to prevent the spawning of the guardians around the ocean monument, the only way to fix this is to move this platform up. So that's an off-camera project. Shouldn't take me too long, but I'll have to get on that right away. But I think that is a good place to end this episode for now. I was hoping, in all honesty, to have a completely working, functional, and flawless mob farm at this point in time, but I guess every day is a school day. And today we have learned that if you're going to make a mob farm that relies on the mobs moving, don't stand at the very edge of the spawning sphere that is around you. So, yeah, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.